For weeks, Indian refiners, wary of complicating trade talks with Washington, had been cutting back on Russian oil. But now, something interesting is happening on global oil routes. Two Russian oil tankers that were originally headed toward East Asia have changed course to India. Ship tracking data from Kepler and Vortexa shows that around 1.4 million barrels of Russia's Urals crude are now heading to Indian ports. The first tanker is Dune, a Suezmax vessel. It carries about 730,000 barrels of Urals crude and reached Paradip port on India's east coast on Wednesday. It is not yet clear if the cargo has been discharged. The second tanker is Mathari, an Aframax vessel. It is carrying more than 700,000 barrels and is expected to arrive at Vadinar port in western India on Thursday. And there is a third vessel, Indri, a Suezmax in the Arabian Sea that was signaling it's heading to Singapore, made a sharp turn north this week toward India. Earlier this year, India had slowed down purchases of Russian crude. This came amid growing US pressure on countries buying Russian oil since the Ukraine war began in 2022. In January 2026, India's Russian oil imports dropped to about 1.1 million barrels per day. That was the lowest level since November 2022. Russia's share in India's oil imports also fell to around 21.2%. The conflict in West Asia is now disrupting oil flows. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil routes, has become highly volatile. Around 40% of India's crude imports pass through this narrow shipping lane, with vessels reportedly stuck during the escalating confrontation involving Iran, the US, and Israel. Shipping risks have surged. That raises a major concern for India: energy security. India imports roughly 5.6 million barrels of crude every day, but its strategic and commercial reserves cover only about 25 days of demand. If Hormuz disruptions continue, supply shortages could appear quickly. Now, Russia appears ready to fill that gap. It is also reportedly ready to supply liquefied natural gas, especially after Qatar halted production amid the conflict's widening. But there is a fear. Since the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russian oil has often been sold at a discount to global prices. That made it attractive for Indian refiners. But the West Asia crisis could change that. With supplies tightening, analysts say the market is turning into a seller's market, implying the discount on Russian oil may shrink and global crude prices could stay elevated. Both India and China, Asia's biggest energy consumers, rely heavily on Middle Eastern oil. But India holds far smaller reserves than China, making it more vulnerable to supply shocks. Follow for more stories.